Hello, my name is Shadaleo. Welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Iran. In previous episode we managed to, well, we turned the Madagascar into a colony, which is struggling a little bit. It's not like too bad. The standard of living is kind of okay. It's not great, but it's kind of okay. And we haven't gotten the rubber plantations in there yet, which I believe at least the southern Madagascar should have. Actually, I think the northern Madagascar should also get that, but I don't remember. Like, it's a bit of a dice roll when they discover the capabilities in there, so it's going to take a while. Hopefully we can get that soon, though, because getting that rubber into our market would be brilliant. It would also be something that we need rather desperately. Oh dear, our forestry company is losing prosperity. Why is that? Oh, public transit completed. There we go. What do we get from that? Roaring engines. With the invention and implementation of mode of transportation, the question arises, shall we focus on public or private transportation? Oh, you know what? We'll go for all automobiles are needed, so that's a 33% boost in there, which might mean that we'll become the leading producer of automobiles. Maybe not immediately. Or at least we should be getting a bit closer there. I'm not entirely sure, though. Let's have a look. We do suddenly have a lot more available. Yeah, we're still number 2 producer. Oh, there we go. Now we're number 1 producer. So that is technically speaking the goals that we set up for the series, even the additional goal of number 1 producer in automobiles, we have now met those. Those are the only 3 that we're number 1 producer right now, mind you, but that is still pretty good. Oh, right, conveyors unlocked. We should probably start activating some of those. Now, I suppose at this point, we've got most of the production that we needed. I guess we could get the telephones. Speed that up a little bit. Right, so the assembly machines, or the assembly lines. Let's have a look at... well, I suppose they're not going to be there. Motor industries? That would probably be a pretty good one. Reduce labor use even further. I guess that... No, it's a little bit electricity. And a bit of oil instead of coal. So that's actually going to save us in coal, which means that we can use cheaper coal for power production. Electricity will be a bit of an issue, though. I suppose that's fine. We can definitely do that on the motor industries for now. And maybe free up at least some of the workforce. We do also need a bit more power plants, but I suppose, did that have an impact in here? It's a few thousand. Not so much in Isfahan. What about cars? Is that... Oh, forests, sorry, not cars. That doesn't have motor industries, but of course there's a lot of other things that we could use the assembly lines. For example, for the... furniture. Could also do it over here. There we go. So that's freeing up at least a little bit more workforce, hopefully. Tooling workshop. That could also get the assembly line. Which should mean... Oh, right. So this is 15 coal to 10 oil and 5 electricity. That's fine by me. Oh, low progress to consideration as well. Okay, let me actually just have a look at through here. This is probably going to be a bit cheaper through this way. So, we just go for the buildings or textile mills, automated power looms, the ones that can do that, assembly lines, the ones that can do that, tooling workshops, ones that can do that. Not every place has power. Explosive factories, brine electrolysis, not everything can get that, of course. Same with the, okay, over here, if it's too expensive, you don't have to go for that one. Similarly, I suppose, yeah, you can't change that one right now. Arms industries, look at the assembly lines there, if... it's profitable, which might not always be. That one we'll put in. Then the livestock ranches. So if we've got electric fences, barbed wire fences, we don't really have enough for either one. If we can get the refrigerated cars, and it's profitable, we'll do that. Otherwise, we can hold off steam donkeys. We can probably get for some of the coal mines. That's going to reduce labor use a bit further. And then if the rail transportation, again, if it's profitable, we'll do that. So that way we can save up maybe a little bit more workforce. It's probably not going to be sufficient. You know what, that wouldn't be profitable anyway for the silk plantations. At least additional motor carriages. How much would that be? It's only 20 more cars, so yeah, it's actually probably going to be a bit more than that. We'll do it anyway. That's going to free up a lot more workforce again. And then if we can get electric street lights, we will. It may not be profitable everywhere, mind you. And that one we can't really change any further than that. We can probably go with the hardwood production, if it's profitable. And the chainsaws, if it's profitable. Rail lock cars, if it's profitable. Fishing wharves, refrigerated rail cars, if it's fine. Oil rigs, get the tanker cars, which actually that seems to be profitable everywhere. And the railways, electric trains, if that is profitable. And of course, steel passengers, Carriages will get that one everywhere. So that's most of it. And what are we at? Still at 120 million in GDP. So that hasn't really improved too much. I guess it's better than nothing. Private sector is doing a lot of construction work, which does mean that the investment pool is dropping in terms of quantity. Standard of living issues are still somewhat bad in certain areas. It's not really like everywhere, but there's just a very sparse population, so that's not really helping too much. Did we actually manage to get any more labor use? Let's double check. What do we need first of all? Clothing would be quite nice, so let's go ahead and get another textile mill. And then unemployment. Lars has got a huge amount of unemployed. Oh, is that? Oh, right. Is that that's, you know, that is unemployed, actually. Now, let's first look at the peasants. Mazandaran's got a huge amount. We'll get one in there. We'll probably get another one in Debris. And then unemployed, there's not too many yet. So it's just a whole lot of peasants moving into places. Also go and get some more glassworks, I think. Look at the earnings. Kabulistan would be kind of profitable. There's peasants available here, so we'll do that one. We can probably get another one in Mazandaran. Well, Mazandaran's already getting another one. Then to Praise, we'll get... Oh, wait. I guess we'll get 2 for both of them. Right, so that's a decent bit of construction work. Mostly just textile mills and glasswork. So if we now have a look at the population, they're still spending a lot of money on their clothing, which seems to be very high priced currently. Oh yeah, it's 32%. It's over 2,000 deficit right now, which is quite significant. Mind you. And it's the, right, it's mostly trade routes that we're getting our rubber still from. Although the British market is providing a lot to us through there. Is there, I don't suppose there's anyone else that would be allowing us, no, there's no other nations available to import. So we're importing from everywhere that we can right now. Although I suppose one of the things that we could do is we can declare more interests. A lot more interest, actually. Gran Colombia. The Andes. Okay, that's probably going to be enough then. For a while. So it's mostly a decent chunk of the global south, I suppose, that we are putting our interest in. But so we are now the #1 producer in automobiles. No, not really. We were briefly, but apparently not anymore. So let's actually have a look. We're still #2. The difference is a few hundred. That's manageable, I would say. Just not necessarily easy. Where did we... Mazandaran had a lot of peasants. We get another couple motor industries in there to get more automobiles. And... During request, we dispatch an embassy to them. Sure. Telephone unlocked. There we go. There's the electric arc process. That would allow us to get even more steel. But at the same time, society, we're getting the feminism. I suppose that's fine. What are we getting in the military? There's the monitors. You know, we'll complete that one real quick. And then maybe we'll go for pneumatic tools, which will increase the resource discovery chance. Which might mean that we'll discover the rubber. Although, again, I think this might well be the last episode of the series, because we've done most of the things that we set out to do. Not necessarily quite everything. Like, we didn't expand... Well, we did expand a decent bit, but just not too far to the east or west, for that matter. Let's go a little bit to the south, at least. But that was pretty late addition to the party. Now, is there any more markets that we could import from? Yeah, we'll actually put the rubber on protect domestic supply. But yes, we wanted to import some. There's a few more places, but we don't really have that. Well, maybe Venezuela we could buy some. But that's about it. Might not be profitable right now anyway. But we just need the supply. We are still around 120 million in GDP, so we are now below Germany again. But it's just, you know, we've got a fairly small population. But, I mean, Germany's got even smaller, to be fair. We've got a load of plantations, which we, you know, we probably could survive without. Although they do give us a lot of money, but yeah. So it's one of the things. We're getting a whole lot more textile mills soon. That should, well, there might be a lot more power needed then. I suppose we're going to have a look at the, it's in the trade lens, isn't it? Power plants. Earnings. Where would be earning the most? Khorasan is quite a bit. Tabriz could be getting another one. Isfahan could get another one. And our capital could get another one. Baku could probably get another one. Just increase the power production in a lot of places. It will be a bit expensive, but that will definitely then help us with the... oh, and there we go. Regulatory bodies. We need a lot more bureaucracy, that's for sure. We can't do too much about that one right now, but yeah, so we've got quite a drop in the GDP there. How's the... Ah, right, so the forestry company has lost a little bit with the prosperity. It is still at over 100, so we do still get the bonus from there. But I suppose, yeah, the wood isn't used as much. We're now at a good 75% literary rate, which has kind of slowed down the increase in there, which is not great. I've still got all the... oh, actually, all political groups are influential in their own right. Landowners are still in government. If they weren't in government, they probably wouldn't be. We could try to push for the universal suffrage. That would radicalize the landowners and armed forces. Well, actually, landowners would be the only one that would radicalize. Armed forces would oppose it. It's got 30% chance of going through. You know what? Let's try to get that one real quick. Then we can maybe start getting some... oh, and there's the monitors unlocked. Very good. And now we're working on the pneumatic tools. That's going to take a while, though. Which we might not even complete it during this episode, then. Or playthrough, for that matter. But yeah, so our colony in East Africa has already got 12.6 million GDP, so that has definitely been increasing quite a bit during our reign here. They got a decent literary rate of... well... it's a bit less than ours, but it's not that much less than ours. The standard of living is still around 11.7, so that hasn't really increased too much. But it's not the worst, let's be honest. They don't have a lot of military, but that's fine. The population is still relatively small. And that's also not really a huge issue. Oh, destroyer is spreading, okay. So even better than the fleet. So we're now trying to push for the universal suffrage. I believe the landowners are very much radicalized, which actually doesn't really have that much of an impact on our... stuff in here. I guess what we could do is we could push them out of the government. That would reduce our legitimacy a bit further. But we're gonna, yeah, we'll just go with only Ulema in the government for now. Reduce some of the issues that we might be having otherwise. Armed forces are also a little bit upset. So military goods cost is increased, but we're not losing that much money, even with the decent bit of construction going on. So we are wealthy, that's for sure. Of course, you know, the opium and oil and all that, there's a lot of money that we get through there. Let's actually have a look. So government dividends, we get 47,000, which are 10,000 from oil rigs. We get a lot from power plants and opium plantations, then railways and coal mines. After that is a lot less. We have, of course, sold a lot of things, mind you. Minting is also a huge amount. Of course, GDP is quite substantial, so that gives us a lot of money from there. That is actually the biggest individual thing in here, I think. No, income tax is even higher, but that's even with the low taxes, which is really interesting. But I suppose the, you know, the income levels on our nation are fairly decent, and we're now 17.6 standard of living as well. So number 4, how big of a difference is it between us? Oh, Scandinavia is only 0.1 better. The Netherlands and Hohenzollern are a decent bit further from there, but it's not the worst. We're getting a whole lot more power plants, hopefully built. That would then allow us to utilize the power even further on productions and all that. GDP seems to be jumping back to 126 million there. Oh, and more oil discovered in Uralsk. How much is there now? There's up to 10 in our area. I guess we'd get another one in there. The services are basically non-existent because we don't have urbanization enough in here. And how much do we have? Oh, right, total urbanization is only 25 there. Yeah, so that's a bit of a problem. Oh, oil. Running Uralsk. Encourage this trend. If we can get a bit more people moving in there, they can then run the various buildings in here properly, and then that might at least improve the overall standard of living there. Although I don't know if it's going to be that much. But there we go. We're getting the motor industries now. Are we now in the top 1 producer of automobiles? Yes, we are. I'm also number 1 producer in class. So we have then met the goals. So I think that's actually where we're going to probably call it here. It's a bit shorter episode, but we're not going to play this all the way to the end. So we're ending about 15 years early because, again, we've met most of the goals that we set out for this series. I don't think there's a point in stretching this out just doing nothing at this point. But yeah, so overall, if we have a look at the... well, let's go ahead and just declare neutrality on all of these real quick. There we go. So now if we have a look at the world, so China is still pretty strong. I mean, we were doing a lot of trading with them and all that, so they were a lot stronger in that regard. Although their GDP is less than what ours is. They only got 106 million. And then Japan's got a bit weakened there. There's a bit of Japanese uprising in the French portion of that. For the British East Indies is still fairly strong. Australia did form. It's quite nice. French South Africa. Oh, right. So they took the Cape Colony, didn't they? Alright then. But there's still a lot of British colonies in Africa. And also quite a bit of French colonies. Egypt is having a bit of civil war, but they did manage to survive until the end of the game, although they did lose a lot of land, or a decent chunk of land to Ottoman Empire, which is still alive. Surprisingly enough. USA is very much of a mess. Very, very much of a mess, actually. Michigan is independent. Is that true? I guess they are. Okay, and then there's New England and a couple others. So yeah, USA is a problem. Well, not really a problem, but they have problems, let's just say. Then of course Mexico is still decently strong. Brazil is okay, although well, not necessarily that strong. They've got a few nations over here that have. I suppose that would be Uruguay, and then there's these two, which would be part of Brazil normally. Paraguay did not get all of that area. I think, yeah, that would be part of Brazil. Chile is that part of the... Oh, that's part of the French market. They are actually a subject of France. Well, that will explain a thing or two. But yeah, so for the next series, which is hopefully starting today, or not today, tomorrow, sorry, we're going to be playing as Prussia. We're going to try to form Germany. I haven't quite decided all the goals yet. I won't be starting recording that for a few days, I reckon. But I will be at least forming Germany. And then I do want to get the at least 10 states worth of colonies in Africa for the achievement. So we'll probably do a lot of colonization, of course, fighting in Europe a decent chunk along the way as well, most likely to at least form the Germany. We'll maybe try to take like Bohemia, Moravia, and maybe even a bit more land in here. Maybe we'll try to take the Baltic Karagnets and, you know, clear out basically modern-day Poland and maybe even Belarus. So we'll probably fight against Russia, Austria-Hungary, and France. So, yeah, and maybe a little bit Scandinavia. Well, Denmark first. We'll need to take some land from them. The Schleswig-Holstein. So that's going to be a bit of Rutland there. But anyway, that's going to be what we'll be doing tomorrow. Let's just quickly have a look at the population chart over here real quick. So again, laborers make still 32, almost 33%. So about 1/3 of the population is laborers. We show more so we can have a look at machinists make about 1/6. And then clerks make it about 14.5%. Farmers make it 11.1%. Engineers 9%. Shopkeepers 8%. And after that it's below 2% each. That's pretty decent. Religion is mostly Shia. We've got some Sunnis as well. And a bit of Orthodox, although that's a very small portion. But yeah, that's not too bad. Of course, our market is, well, we still need the rubber, which we probably would be getting in like a few years' time. We'd be getting some of that present in Madagascar, and then we'll just build that as far as possible to get all of that to produce locally, so we can then produce so much more tools and everything, and it's going to reduce the production costs for everything. So if we were to continue this up till 1936, we'd probably get to like 150 million GDP, maybe higher, maybe less. But that's kind of the scale that we're probably talking about. I probably would be able to get the standard of living up to at least 18 or 19. I don't know if we'd be able to get that to 20, maybe. But the likelihood is a bit on the low side. But overall, the growth was pretty good. We did have a bit of wars. We did also, there was that one crazy war where Britain occupied most of our nation. We were making more and more money because of the occupation. Well, it's mostly because our army cost was so massive. And the army got pretty much entirely wiped out. So that saves a lot of costs, and you know, for whatever reason, we were actually still getting a lot more stuff. It could actually be that we were partially providing stuff to the British market at that point, but the British market was so much better than the Russian market. And we did, of course, then get our independence war against Russia. We gained a few states over here in the Caucasus. We could have taken it maybe a bit more over there, just so that there wouldn't be the border on the western side there. But I figured that I just let it be there for now. But anyway, that is where we're going to end this series. I do hope you've all enjoyed this. And I hope you'll return tomorrow with some more Victoria 3 as Prussia. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.